to another episode of Missions and Mimosas, where we're here for real stories.
Real laughs.
And real leadership.
Cheers.
So as you can see, we're all dialed up today. You may be wondering why. And today's topic is all about galas. Or gala, depending on how you decide to say it. But as CEOs, you guys have to go to a lot of galas throughout the year. So tell me a little bit about why you guys go to the galas.
I don't know.
Of course.
Well, we have to make a presence, right? I mean, we're part of the community. I mean, hopefully we're nominated for something, nonprofit of the year.
As she shows all her awards, ding ding.
These aren't all mine. They're everybody's. They're a group effort.
Okay.
Well, you deserve them. Congratulations.
But I mean, it's part of our job, really, right? We get to see the people in the community, sponsors, donors, people who are in our organizations. I mean, really, that's why we go, right?
The best networking opportunity you can get,
They
usually.
Because everybody's there.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
But we have, or I shouldn't speak for you, but I'm going to speak for her too. We have a love-hate relationship with the galas.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because they're wonderful and beautiful, but they're challenging too. And there are a lot of effort and work. And in fact, in my closet, I have two sets of clothes. I have jeans and the things I love, and I have gala garb.
Right.
And that's about it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's so true. When we first started going 23 years ago, it was such a big deal, right? You went out shopping, you got a new dress and all the accessories. And now I'm like, I'm sure there's something in my closet.
Yes.
I'm going to rewear.
You
Yeah.
rotate
Absolutely.
it.
Yeah, I do. And now I do. And even, a lot of clothes actually for that matter, because you're in a lot of photos and you're like, did I wear this before to this same event?
Yeah.
Yes, I did. Because they can pull the picture up. But
Yeah.
so yeah, it's a love-hate relationship for me too.
Yeah. And it's hard because they're on the weekends usually or in the evenings. And, my husband used to go with me to the galas every year. But after the housing crisis, we decided to save a little bit of money and just buy one ticket instead of two. Now I can't get him back. But the point is that, it's sometimes difficult to talk with your family about being away for so many nights out of the month or whatever it might be to go to events. But we also know it's an important part of nonprofit work and being able to network and be seen and celebrate, the great things that collectively we're all accomplishing, not just our organization.
So I think it's interesting that you had said that about how, oh my gosh, now it skipped my mind because there's a million things that kind of came in. But where you said we have to go because it's, the families kind of don't understand, but staff always, didn't they call you the fancy side of the office or something because you guys were always going to galas or going to these things?
Yeah, some on our staff call us the fun and games department.
Oh, that's what it is. Okay.
But they don't really, and they say it in jest because they're amazing. But it's really work.
Yeah.
It's really being strategic and who you're going to connect to and the way you present yourself, the things that you may say if you're like Kim and you have to happen to win every award.
Oh, I thought she meant drinking.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Well, that's
And
what
her speeches are
work.
flawless, beautifully
know.
done.
Oh, that's nice.
That is interesting.
Yeah. So it is a little bit more work than people perceive it to be.
That's true. It is fun.
Yep.
I would like you both to know I'm really good seat filler. I am really a good seat filler. But I personally love going to the galas because I like to see how everybody's doing things and, what they're doing different for fundraising, because there is always that pattern to the gala to fundraising. And so it is interesting to see all of the little new things because you're always trying to do something that's a little bit different or a little bit exciting that makes you stand out a little bit. Yeah. But going back to the speeches, so one question is, you do really good speeches.
Yeah,
so
nice.
do you have a canned speech for all your 5 million awards?
Stop.
And then you're just one little line, remember what award you're winning today?
I don't have a canned one. I'll tell you, funny story about that is public speaking in general I was terrified. I don't think anybody actually likes it. I mean, I guess maybe Toastmasters people do, but I'm not a fan of it in general. And I could do Michelle's Place all day long. I have no problem standing up and talking about Michelle's Place very easily, quickly,
right?
Whether it's 5 minutes or 50 minutes, right? But then when you have to talk about yourself, terrified, right?
Yeah.
Terrified. So I think you're probably talking about the Citizen of the Year Awards or something that's more specific to myself. I do a little bit of practice if I am up for that. I can't do I can't drink, and it's always the last award of the night. So you're just painfully sitting through it. And then,
But then you drink after.
hell yeah. And people should be buying me drinks because I just once this in a year, which we need to talk about later. There's not a lot of benefits to it. So anyway, I don't, to answer your question, I don't write anything up and I don't memorize anything simply because when I started doing it, I would write things. And when you write things, you just read it. And and it's not as genuine and it's not as heartfelt. And although it is when you're writing it,
Yeah.
I don't feel that way when I'm saying it. So I just kind of put some thoughts in my head of people you want to think and really how you're feeling in that moment. And then it just kind of comes to me. So I appreciate the compliment. Thank you.
You do
It's hard to do. And you always come off the stage thinking, shit, I didn't say that. Or I wish I would have said that. Or did I pause too
every
long?
time,
Did I say,
right?
Is Esther looking at me and, judging me for my ums and my ands?
Gonna have to pay fines at Rotary.
Yeah, fines at Rotary for that. So thank you. That I appreciate that. I really do appreciate it because it's hard. It's super hard to have the spotlight on you and you just are surprised and, everyone's looking at you and I don't know, it is overwhelming a little bit, but.
Well, Habitat has also been up and won a couple of awards. Do you practice your speeches beforehand? I think I remember one time where you brought like everybody on stage, which was super, super cool. Was that you? I think that was you.
I try to do that when I can because it, really, and that's another thing about the gala with nonprofit work is we're being celebrated, but really it's a team of people behind us that have all there's nothing that happens at a nonprofit organization that is directly linked to one person. It's a collective effort. So yeah, we do that. I kind of do the same thing. In the beginning years, I didn't do anything because I always assumed I wouldn't win. And then one day I did. And I'm like standing up there going, that was really a stupid strategy because I have nothing. So I do kind of mold kind of the key points. But I think organic and speaking, as Kim said, genuinely from your heart is probably the best thing to do. And that's what we do.
Yeah, I agree. I would agree with that when I think back on your speeches and stuff. And I do love that you pull your entire board and team and everybody who's there with you. It's like it's a whole army. That's really cool to see. So yes, and you're going to edit these because now I got to think of another question.
Well,
Where
I
are we
think
gonna
if
go
we
with
talk about galas too, the ones that we put on ourselves, or like you said, going to other people's events. But you mentioned watching other people and trying to glean some fun, new, different thing because they're all the same.
Yeah.
We all do the silent auction. We all do the live auction. We all
Yep.
have the dinner with
And
the
the paddle
same
race
food and the paddle race. So how do you change it to make it exciting and fun and different, right? And that's really difficult. And I just know, like having just gone to your event, the other part of me is I'm literally a secret cheerleader underneath in my skin, just going, oh, that was amazing. Oh my God, they spent so
Right?
much money.
Yeah.
Oh, and-
Yeah.
or if something starts going sideways, it just stresses me out so much because I feel for you
Yeah.
and I want to fix it and solve it because you've been in those shoes so many times that you just only want your friends to do well and any nonprofit to raise money because I mean it's how hard it is, right? Like how hard you've been working all day in the days leading up to that event
Yeah.
to make it great. So I just
But I think
empathize with you guys.
also there's a lot of resource sharing. So like I think a lot of us use a particular auctioneer.
Yeah.
Love him. And we do share resources and we do share
Right.
experiences and stuff. And that does make us all successful in different ways. So I do appreciate that.
We borrow what works. And your last gala for Mission Hope was amazing.
That was really
and very
good, yeah.
inspiring. And yeah, I do think in general the
I have a
nonprofit
secret
community,
weapon.
in
It's called
theory,
Heather.
we're a little competitive, but we really deep down we're not.
Right.
I always say nonprofit community. Like I'm for Habitat and I believe in the programs we provide, but I want everybody to win because we're out there boots on the ground trying to change the world.
Yeah.
And so it's really fun to be able to see like at your gala, the energy that was there and all the different fun elements. And yeah, Kim's right. The galas are all very similar in nature. It reminds me of like I'm older than you guys, but all the weddings in the 80s, they
Right.
all looked the same. They were just a different color.
Right.
You know what I mean? Just a
Right.
different bridesmaid color. But actually there are unique components to a lot of them. And yours was an example of one. We don't do one at Habitat. For us, it doesn't work. We don't have what do I want to say? The heartstrings heartstrings aren't as prominent with our organization as they are with other organizations because the need is not incredibly immediate, if that makes sense.
Yep, got it.
Like with food insufficiency or with a cancer diagnosis. So we have created other events that work for the population that support us. So it's different for everybody, I guess.
And it's super smart, I think. And the same with Michelle's Places. You guys used to do a gala annually.
Yeah.
And now it's once every 5 years, which I honestly love that strategy.
Yep.
Okay.
We stopped doing it a few years ago just because we couldn't get a weekend in that wasn't already taken by some other nonprofit organization. It's so much work on your team. It's so much work. And the focus just ends up going there, because you have a lot of amazing volunteers, but at the end of the day, your team is still doing the work. And so when you talk about cost, it's not just the actual cost of things, food and DJs and music. It's the cost of your employees' time who should be doing the programming in the center, right? And so we just took a huge risk and jumped off a cliff and said, let's just see if we can somehow make up the money that we would make in a gala. And we did. We squeaked by, but decided that we do need to celebrate our 5-year anniversary. So our 25th anniversary is coming up, so we're having one. And we're excited about it. And that's the other thing is, right, everyone's excited to do it now because we don't do it every single year. So it is exciting. But funny story about that. So we're talking to the team about it, and everyone's really excited about it. And they're like, what are we going to wear? And our color's purple, right? And so I'm like, I'm wearing a sequin suit. I don't want to wear a dress. Wear a dress all the time to all the events. Yeah. And we were trying to get the whole team to do it. Oh. And our poor team is like, a suit?
I kind of like it.
And God bless her, she's very honest. She's like, you guys get to wear dresses all the time. And we never do. And now you want me to go in a purple suit? I want to wear a dress and look pretty. I said, okay, you know what? Never mind.
Yeah.
We're wearing a suit and tennis shoes, so you guys can wear whatever you want.
Way to lead, Kim. I wouldn't have wanted to wear that either, honestly.
I mean, I just think it's fun and funny and different.
It is.
But it's true. We do this all the time, and it is really fun, but it's wearing, right? Again, so.
I think it's wearing on the staff and the board, but it's also wearing on the community that has to go to all these galas. Because in our world, not one donor supports just one nonprofit. Nope. They support a lot. And I know gala season, sometimes there's like that sigh.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I remember a few years ago talking to a couple of people where it's either they didn't go to galas anymore, they rather just write a check, or it was just like, oh my God, I gotta go. And that's why I said I'm always a good seat filler. I really, really am.
Yeah. Well, I feel like that too, because on occasion we get offered free tickets to go to things, and that's always helpful because it helps the budget. So that's really good. But one thing I do want to say about galas that I think it's important to share is that even though we are professional fundraisers, we may do our gala once a year. And so it's not like we're professional gala putter honors.
Right.
We do it one time a year. And so we're always on pins and needles. Are we doing it right? Does everything flow together? All those things. And, people don't realize that we're just doing the best we can to rally people and to raise dollars to support our program. But it doesn't always go off perfect. But
except for mine. Just kidding.
We're hurt. Yours was amazing.
Yeah, I'm kidding. Totally kidding.
Yeah, yours was amazing. They all have been.
They are good. And probably just because we do them so much, then we know when things aren't going right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
that's probably another episode. The bloopers.
Yeah.
The bloopers of the gala.
There definitely are
things said
bloopers.
Plenty of those.
Scenes. Yeah. I like that episode. Stay tuned. Okay, so now that we've kind of talked about the galas, obviously there's some scary stories and there's probably some fun stories. So why don't we end the episode by sharing some of those? What is one thing that's either super scary that you laugh about now or just super funny, remember forever?
I've got two.
Oh, good.
Top of mind.
Take mine.
Okay, I know you guys can relate to this, but when you're doing a live auction, right, and you've done your programming, and you're standing on the stage and you're looking at the entire audience, and I was up there with our auctioneer, and the energy was just low for some reason, and he starts the power raise, and
so scary?
It's dead silent.
Yes.
Everyone's just looking at you. You have nowhere to go. I don't have any pockets.
You do now with your suit.
I mean, like Terrifying. It's the worst feeling in the
It
whole
is
wide
the
world.
worst
You
feeling.
don't, there's nowhere to go. You can't run, and that's what you want to do. And then he just starts going lower so that, there's some energy, and the energy's so low. And all I wanted to do was run off the stage. And to this day, I won't go up on the stage while he's doing that because I'm just terrified of that ever happening again.
Yeah.
But I think I've seen that happen in other people's events, and then I have been, unfortunately, the victim of the same thing. It's so hard. It's so hard. It's so scary because you have worked your guts out to create this event, and it's just not there. It's just not working. It's not happening. And that was rough. But one of my favorite all time that many of my volunteers still remember is we were having an event, and it was one of those events where, we don't have any money, because that's, I think the other point is that we're like the team. We're the staff. We're the event people. And so you're hauling in all the stuff that people have made, wood stages and all the decorations and your own centerpieces and tablecloth. You're hauling it all in because it's cheaper to bring it, right? And so we're going to this venue locally, and it had kind of been a rocky situation anyway. Just they weren't huge fans of us bringing in as much stuff. So the morning we show up to start setting up for our event that day, and they said, "Oh, actually, you need volunteer insurance before I can let your people on our property." So we had 10, 15 trucks and cars full of people ready to create an amazing venue, and they wouldn't let us on the property until we had volunteer insurance. So I'm on the phone calling, I don't even know. How do I get that for that specific property? It was just one of those things that just wasn't a great relationship, and a little bit difficult. And I just remember standing there crying, thinking this is actually not going to happen because I don't know how we're going to do it. And I have 200 people showing up this afternoon. So those are the backside stories. Because then next thing you know, you're sweating, literally, setting everything up, running around. You run in the back room, do a little, whore bath, and put your makeup back on and your gala dress. And, oh, hey, there's one.
We should cheers every time.
Cheers.
Yay!
I said whore. And then you got to smile and nod and, shake hands and hug babies, and like nothing had ever happened that whole
Totally
entire
planned it
day.
all.
I don't have a funny gala. Oh, sorry. Did you have? I don't have a funny gala story per se, but I do remember when I first started at Boys and Girls Club years ago, and their gala was in a tent at Pechanga before Pechanga was built out.
Oh.
And Terry Gilmore, who is one of our biggest supporters and yours too, and we loved pieces, and his comrades would do a performance on stage.
No.
In part to fill up the agenda. They did a Backstreet story, or a Backstreet
Boys?
Yeah, Backstreet Boys
No.
song. That was adorable.
Was it recorded? Can we get it?
We
I
must
don't
find
get a
know if
copy.
it was recorded, but it would be wonderful if it was, because I'd love to see that. And it was so much fun.
Yeah.
But there was just so much love and energy and enthusiasm pulled into that event back in the day. And that event is still going strong. It's an amazing fundraiser for the Boys and Girls Club. So
It is.
it's been fun to see that evolve.
That is cool. That's true. I think for me, I probably have tons of stories because I do most of the events for our organization, but the ones that are like the scariest and the biggest nightmare are always the ones I feel the most accomplished afterwards. So I can think of one. One was we were doing like the chef event, and we have all these different chefs, and we have like 600 people coming, and everybody's set up, and then all of a sudden the health department calls and wants all of this stuff. And we had such a tight turnaround and this was right after COVID. So they had all these crazy, stupid rules that they didn't have before.
Right.
And that honestly was probably one of my biggest triumphs, is because trying to figure out how, because 2 weeks before an event, you have a lot of time to just figure out these huge problems. And it was a nightmare, and it was still one of my biggest, I totally did that. Check. I had help. I can't say I did it all myself, but yeah. I do like those stories, like the war stories, with the volunteer insurance and all that. And when people think that, oh, you can't do that, I'm like, really? Really? I'm pretty sure that we can. And then making that happen, so my favorite. Yeah. Like we did that most recently, and you don't have to put this in the thing. Oh my God, my favorite was with the auctioneer. He was like, we're not going to do this. We're not going to do it. And I'm like, just do it. Just do it. I never stick up to him. And I always do everything he says, right? And one time, just do this thing, because I saw it at a different event and it was super cool. And it was auctioning off a bottle of alcohol to kind of start the fun. Do you remember that from the event?
Yeah.
Right? I know. He's like, it's not going to raise anything. So he started the bidding at $1, and I'm like, really? And it went to $800
Oh,
for
good
a
for you.
$40 bottle of alcohol. But we set it up, like we made it an experience and stuff. But he wasn't going to do it. And it was so fun. It got like everything kind of going.
Love it.
It was, I know.
Good job.
I know.
Good job, Christy.
It's neat when your ideas go to fruition. It's fun,
know,
rewarding.
yeah. It is, yeah. So cheers to the next time that we have a gala. All the tears, all the laughs, all the crazy
Awards.
stories
All
in
the
your purple
dresses.
suit. All the dresses. Yeah.